Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. The views and opinions expressed in this video and on UME Radio YouTube channel are those of the host and or the guests and do not necessarily reflect the opinion of UME Radio YouTube channel.
I am a author, so my book Things Left Unsaid Before I Do is about questions that I wish I had asked or I had gone in depth in before I got married. And those questions would have clarified certain aspects of the marriage to probably help it to be a bit better. I mean, not everything that the counselor or premarital counselor can help you with, but at least those basic things I believe should have been covered. So that's what it's about. A little over a year after I got married, that was my first marriage. I was at work and I thought about some of the issues that we were having, and I decided to it started out just by writing them down in my diary and writing things about them that I wish I had known and how to better deal with it. That's how it started. You can find my book via Shopping Assistance JA there on Instagram. And if it is that you want to order it via online, you can order it on Amazon. If you want to contact me, you can contact me via The Unfiltered by J, that's on Instagram, or Gloria Adigold on Instagram.
Let's talk
relationships on UME Radio.
So what are we talking about?
Marriage, dating, parenting, business,
and love, emotions, sex.
It's a conversation with me, Lady Misty,
and DJ KTE
on everything from hot topics to taboos.
Join us Mondays at 9 p.m. live on UME Radio.
Follow us at Let's Talk Relationship Show on Facebook or on UME Radio on Instagram. Let's talk relationships, arguments for the grown.
Get the UME Radio app to listen wherever you are. That is UME Radio, one word.
UME Radio, positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.
Hi, good night, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk Relationships. How y'all doing? DJ KTE, I don't know, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you now, Lady Misty in the house tonight. Yes.
Hi.
It's been a long time, and I'm so glad you're back.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. How y'all doing? How y'all doing, fam?
I am doing just about all right. You know, I'm again very grateful for life, and grateful to be here again with this amazing audience.
I am grateful to be here too. I have missed you guys so much,
and we miss you as well. We did.
Listen, I'm gonna need a whole show just to talk about my journey, but that's for another show.
Oh! I can't wait to read that book.
But thank you. Yeah, thank you, Satin Brownie, telling me welcome back. Yeah, it's been a minute. I have been out.
Yes.
My girl is back. Yes.
There we go.
Oh, it's such an awesome feeling to be back on LTR, talking up the
Mm-hmm.
things them.
Yes, and we're so happy to have those in between folks who came along and kind of helped to
Yes.
carry the baton on. You know what I'm saying? So we thank God for
Yeah,
Trisha
listen,
and
I have to
for
say
Lady
thank you
Gloria. It was
so
just really
much.
nice. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So we thank you for
Listen,
that.
Lady Addie Gold, Lady Marsha J,
Uh
Lady
huh.
Trisha, come on, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
D DJ
Uh huh.
Kelly, I know she be holding it down, and you too, DJ KTE. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
I've been here sweating the
keeping
tears.
my
So I'll be
seat
like, oh man.
warm. Keeping my seat warm. For
Yes,
those of
yes.
you who are just coming in, your girl was out for a minute. She was a little bit under the weather. But I'm back. I'm
Yeah, the
back.
sun
I'm
is
back. I'm
shining
back.
again.
And the sun is shining again. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us for Let's Talk Relationships right here on You Me Radio. Now, here we explore the dynamics and evolution of relationships, identify challenges, and offer perspectives through transformative conversation. We are all about the transformative conversations. And
Uh-huh.
of course, we are here to promote strong, healthy family life and community. Listen, it's
Uh-huh.
important to us that you know that this is not our intention to offer opinions or advice on how you should live your personal life. Hey, you do you boo, do you? So, yeah. So do your research, be a free thinker, make sure you're doing well in your own life as well, and know that we wish you love and happiness. So, as we look forward to a great show tonight, we want to say a big thank you. You know me, we start with an attitude of gratitude. So we want to say a big thank you to all our partners and supporters, our listeners and viewers from all over the world. You continue to hold us down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I see Travel Escapades. He's saying, my TV wifey. Oh my
Uh-oh.
God, I got elevated. I got elevated. I got an upgrade. Good night, Travel Escapades. I see you finding happy. I see you, Satin Brownie. I see all of you. Come on, come on, come on. Thank you so much for joining. Come
Yes,
on in
yes,
the
indeed.
room
Yes,
and keep
indeed.
us company. Come on in the room. Come on in the room.
Mm-hmm.
We are happy that you are here. Now, we
Mm-hmm.
know you could have been so many places and spaces, so many other places tonight, but you have chosen to spend the time with us. And
That's
we
right.
value your time. So, we're going to jump right into our main topic after sharing a few reminders. So, once again, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Welcome to
Uh-huh.
the show. I am Lady Misty.
And this is DJ KTE. And yes, I'm excited to be here as well.
That's right.
Yes, yes, yes,
That's
yes,
right.
indeed.
And we want to say a big happy birthday to anyone who may be celebrating their birthday today, and also congratulating any couple celebrating anniversaries. Or if you got married today, hey, congratulations to you too.
Yes. And last but not least, today is what? November the, you want to tell me what it is?
The today's the 8th
It's
of
going by
November.
fast. It's going by fast.
Yeah, it's almost the end of year. It's almost
November
Thanksgiving.
8th. November
Almost Black
8th.
Friday.
Mm-hmm. And it's the time is now 9:05 p.m. So yes,
Yes.
time is flying. It's flying by real fast. So what do? We
And
gotta do
DJ
it
KTE,
real fast.
we on the same time zone now. So as you know, I'm
Yeah.
here on the beautiful island of Jamaica. You over there in New York, but
In the
we
Big
on the
Apple.
same time. Yeah,
Yeah.
we on the
So
same time zone now. So you got an hour. You got an hour
yeah.
extra to sleep.
Yes, I did, and I was very thankful. Believe me, I felt like when I heard
Good.
like, wait a minute, we have an extra hour. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because I had a very late, long weekend, late night. I hadn't been out in Brooklyn, but at first I didn't want to. Way upstate somewhere, so I had to drive all the way
Okay.
down. So when I came on, it was like bush, but it was nice
Yes.
that I had an extra hour because that really, really helped
Great.
a whole lot.
All right,
Yes.
let me jump on this real quick. Happy birthday, Trish Gay Kelly. Happy
Uh-oh.
birthday. Happy
Yes. Happy
birthday
one.
to
Happy one.
you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Please have
You are
yourself a
a
blast.
November queen. Happy birthday. I trust you had a blast. And
Hmm.
you do it like me. You celebrate the entire month, okay? Because
Uh-huh.
there's nobody else like you. All
I'm telling
right.
you.
So,
Hmm.
to listen or to watch this or other episodes later, you can also listen to Yumi Radio on all major digital platforms, including via our app, of course. Get the app, guys.
At hmm there you go.
app.umiradio.com, and
I'm
it's
sorry,
available
I
on,
can't interrupt you here. Can you say it again so that they can really hear it
yes.
clearly without me interrupting you, my dear? Try it again.
So it's app, that's the app, .umiradio.com. Yumi Radio, one word, all right? All lower caps, one word. And it's available on Apple or the Google App Stores.
Hmm.
You can
Yes.
also reach us on Carivision, and that's reaching over 1.7 million homes.
Hmm.
iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google, Podbean, TuneNews, Spotify, Stitcher, Player FM, and Listen Notes.
Am I seeing a birthday again for Trisha right there again too? I see another birthday coming up
So,
for November. What we got going on here? Birthday's
yes,
coming up here.
listen,
Happy birthday, Trisha!
the
My
family,
goodness.
yeah, the
Wow.
fam is celebrating a lot of birthdays. We are so
Wow. Yeah, you.
happy
Good for you.
for that.
Hope you enjoyed.
All right, so tonight, what we talking about tonight, DJ?
Ah, being a male, I'm gonna be very, very quiet tonight. I'll be just listening on in and trying to
I
learn
I
about this
deliberately
kind of
asked you
thing.
that question.
So let's get your seatbelts on and get
I
your gears
deliberately
up
asked you
because
that question. Oh my goodness. Listen, tonight we're talking about cliteracy, okay?
Mhm.
Yeah, don't be blushing right now. Get your papers, your pens,
So we can
your
learn something. So
recorders
we can learn
out.
something, right? Yeah.
We are talking about female satisfaction in the bedroom. And the question is, can we talk about it? Can we
Uh,
talk for a minute or maybe more?
can we
Yeah,
talk for a
that's right.
minute?
We're
Okay,
going
but
to
you
be
know what?
talking for more than just a minute tonight. We are talking
but
about female satisfaction in the
wow.
bedroom. And of course, before we start any conversation, we start with a little baseline, right? So we start
Yes,
with
we do.
some information because this is an information station.
There you go.
All right. So we are talking about the clitoris and clitoral play, how to satisfy. And I know, ladies out there, if you're hearing me, I know y'all have been faking it to make these men
Mm.
feel okay. But
Why?
we're gonna take them to school tonight.
So we can
Now,
get some understanding. And before
yes.
we even go any further, I say this, ladies and gentlemen, all your listeners, for the last year and a half or so, even more, that this show right here, we've spoken about quite a few different issues and topics that's based
Mhm.
around the family and empowering our audience. And is not a topic uh, to get lost in. It's really having a conversation because many people have thoughts and they think about things, but there's
Mhm.
never a verbal display. And sometimes
Yes.
we can be more loving, more understanding, more
Mhm.
unified if we get to hear each other explain and express ourselves in a very safe space. And so
Right.
we here on LTR want to be a safe space to amplify one's voice, but also to bring about awareness that where it may need to be, and to show that love is not just a word, but it's an action. And at the end of the day, we are
Exactly.
all one family. with
Yes.
different backgrounds, different culture, different ideas, different thoughts. And if we can bring it together in a loving way, an open minded way, it'll be amazing what we can accomplish. So,
That's right.
with that said, carry on, Lady Misty.
All right. So I am reading from this information is from healthline.com, and it's healthy sex and partnered pleasure. So it says clitoral stimulation for a partner or with a partner. Now, it says knowing every part of your clitoris is kind of putting together a unique outfit. Each of our
Hmm.
bodies and makeup below is different. For some people, playing with the clitoral hood brings pleasure, while for others, the the vest the vestibular, I hope I pronounced that right, bulbs bring on all
Vestibular.
sensation.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
You don't have to address every part, just the ones that work for you.
Hmm.
And that may change as you age or explore. And it may be different when you're with a new partner. Now, it continues to say if you are the clitoris owner, whoever you are out there, don't be shy about letting on about stimulation likes or dislikes. There is no shame in making all contact
Hmm.
and making your partner know what you like to feel during a sexual encounter. If you're dating, don't be afraid to ask about your partner's desires too. And don't be afraid to tell them. Frame the question around how invested you are in discovering their pleasure points, men, and
Okay.
taking the time to do so without placing pressure on them to perform.
Hmm.
Experimenting with consent, of course, vocalizing, and it says no, you don't have to be a screamer unless you want to, and listening to desires are equally important when it comes to having sex with someone. That go-to spot that felt good last week, it may have moved 2 inches over to a new spot.
Hmm.
You just never know. And that's why we're giving out all the opinions on giving and receiving clitoral stimulation. No, it continues to give some ideas, some some tips on how to focus on the clitoris during partner play. Now, the first one says be handsy. So it says many penetrating positions, whether using a penis, a hand, or a toy, allow for either a partner's hand or your own hand or even both to play with the clitoris. Now it says the second one is pillow prop. So grind your hand, grind your clit, I'm sorry, on an artfully placed pillow or a bunched up blanket while your partner penetrates your vagina with a penis, toy, fingers from behind. That's another suggestion. Here's one. Furniture fun. No, I know that
Furniture
persons are
fun.
looking at me
That's
like,
interesting.
what? What are you talking
Furniture,
about?
furniture fun.
Just
Okay.
listen, just listen, just listen. Yeah, yes, just listen. Now it says use the furniture for support. Support, guys, support. Especially when you want to stimulate yourself with your hand during penetration, or kneel on a pillow on the floor and lean your body against the mattress so you don't have to balance with one arm.
Hmm.
A headboard or sofa back work well too. And it gives quite a ride. Now, it says as well if a certain
Uh oh.
technique doesn't get your headspace on cloud nine alone with a a bedmate or partner, don't stress. Clitoral stimulation isn't one size fit all. Mix it up until you find the right position, pleasure, and rhythm that feels good for you.
Hmm.
So,
That's
I want
interesting. As one viewer
so here's a
says.
question I want to throw out there before we continue. And especially for the ladies and the men, I'm sure the men who have partners, is your partner clitorally stimulated or not? Because some ladies aren't. And
True.
ladies, this question is for you too. Have you ever been on cloud nine? Really? Seriously, honestly. Be honest with me. I want to hear your answers
Hmm.
as we go
I was thinking
through
cloud 10, but I guess
this.
9 is fine. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tonight we're going to be talking about the G spot, all of those kinds of things. Can it be found? Does every woman have one? Is it real? Yeah, we're going to be talking about some things tonight. So let
Hmm.
me go. So let me jump on some of these comments before we go to the spotlight. So listen, they're chatting up a storm already, DJ KTE.
Ah, I see that the fire is on. The fire is on. It's
Yeah,
coming
so
in
Satin
strong.
Brownie saying, I don't even know that was a requirement, to be honest.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
that's
Yeah.
honest. Uh-huh.
Yes.
We appreciate that honesty. You didn't know. You just didn't
Finding
know.
ha- yeah, finding happy says learning is good and I always learn when I come here. Thank you for what you do for real. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Travel Escapades over there is saying, "Woo, touch me, baby."
Uh oh.
Finding happy
Uh
saying, "No,
oh.
yeah, nope." Finding Happy also says, nope. Is that even real? That Cloud9 fantasy? Well, we're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to hear about it.
Yeah. You know, I will
Yeah,
be going
Satin
there,
Brown is
Misty. I'm gonna
laughing
go.
and
I'm gonna
saying,
go. I'm gonna go Frank tonight. Frank
is there
Sinatra. You know.
truly such a place? Is there truly such a place? Interestingly, DJ KTE, there are quite a number of women out there who have said they have never experienced orgasm. And
I thought when I heard that at first, I thought that was a myth because I'm thinking the air is already so sensitive and so forth. But I am to realize that a lot of it started from the brain, from the mind, and that's I'm sure something we can get into later on in the show. But the
yes.
way someone approaches the body, is not just a physical part. There are the parts that we don't see. The thought and the way someone looks at things culturally,
Yes.
experientially.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's trauma there that the person has not maybe dealt with, and it affects everything. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's all connected. So if one thing is is
Yes.
is I would say it's out of alignment, especially emotionally, that can affect everything else. You know, and what should
Well,
be fun and exciting becomes an ordeal. Sometimes a nightmare for some people.
mm,
So it's a real topic here. Real topic here.
it is. It is. I see Satin Brown and says she's never experienced an orgasm. If she's not there in her mind, um, you know, I'm just going along to get along.
And so a lot of people are
And
robbed
I
of that
see I see
that
Trisha
beauty.
saying that's sad. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
quite a few.
it was
And
made. It was made not just for, I believe, procreation, but for enjoyment as well. And that's why the body, as it's called these pleasure sensors. We have some
mm-hmm,
having their neck and have it, having their feet and the back and
mm-hmm,
the legs and different parts of their body, and it's there to bring that pleasure to us. So yeah, I can just imagine. Some people go through their entire lives
yes,
and never got into these things, got into what really is and how it could be,
mm-hmm.
and really have been robbed, so to speak.
Yes, and true.
So
And there are some women that have faked it to
Yes.
to please, to soothe, or to stroke the man's ego.
Yes, that happened
So
as well.
they're not truly being satisfied in the
Hmm.
bedroom, but probably not to make the man feel bad, or you
Yeah.
know or probably
Yes.
lead him along, because
Hmm.
and the men thinking that they have it all together, but they don't. uh
Yeah, it's true. And
yeah,
sometimes too, the woman doesn't feel like she's deserving of it. They a lot of times they feel as if, you know,
true.
I'm just doing being a dutiful wife, just doing my duty.
Yeah,
And
just do what
sometimes
they
they don't.
do.
Yes, and sometimes they never know it. Even felt it says to me, I wanted more of it. They've never had that in their lives, so they live their
Mm-hmm.
lives in their marriage like that's the way it's supposed to be. But
I
sometimes when you get that
know.
one experience, it's like, wow, that's what it is. That's what I've been missing all
Yeah,
this time. Then of
yeah,
course that becomes now like an awakening. Like, wait a minute,
yeah.
I can experience this over and over again. Then sometimes it changes as well, which
But
is a good thing. Hmm.
it is a good thing. But I've spoken to women, and hey, y'all, I'm not promoting this now. I'm just saying. But I've spoken to women who say that their husbands don't get them there, that cloud 9 experience, but
Mm.
they have a little side piece that do.
Yeah, that's another. Oh Lord, that's another. That's a whole
that
nother.
I'm
Whole
just
nother.
saying,
That's, that's a whole nother
that's
book
a
right there.
whole different, yeah. Yeah, so so
Oh
in
boy.
in 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 the in the space of the marriage, the sex is just fulfilling that duty.
Hmm.
Yeah, somebody saying, "Ooh, child, I know, right?" But there is somebody else in their life who gets, as you would say, gets them off, or get them to cloud 9, or
Hmm.
allow them to experience that height of satisfaction. And it's like, ooh. And
Yeah.
I saw somebody saying it's a very serious conversation, and it is. And sometimes it is difficult to speak to men about this. But
Hmm.
we got some people here to help us tonight to
Some
talk
lovely
about
guests we have.
these
Yes, we
things.
do.
Yes, we have some lovely, lovely, lovely people. So we have some special guests tonight who will be joining us in the room tonight and joining in on the conversation as we seek to empower you, our
Mhm.
amazing, amazing audience. So please help me welcome our guest tonight. So it is Karelia Stetz-Waters. I hope I pronounced that right. Please correct me if I'm wrong, ladies.
Well, but I'm known to butcher names, so I thank you for making the
Yes.
attempt. I think you're okay though, but I'm
And
sure she'll make the correction
Tobias
if it's not.
Stewart James. So please
Yes.
let me know if I butchered your name. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Good night, ladies.
And we have
How are you doing?
is it
Good
Sade
night.
Buckridge?
Yes,
I'm
yes.
Yes. Nice to
all
have you
right.
ladies here with
Yeah,
us tonight.
I got the
Well,
names
Thanks for
near
having
right.
us.
you
Good.
are welcome.
Good night,
Welcome.
ladies. Thank you so much
Have
for
a good
joining us
night.
here on Let's Talk Relationships. Oh, y'all so beautiful. I'm
Mhm.
so sorry you can't see my beautiful face, because living in a
Thank
third
you.
world country ain't pretty. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm work.
Ladies, again, welcome again. Welcome to this Let's Talk Relationships. And I said
On
earlier
it.
to earlier when we were opening up that I'm the only male here tonight, so I'll be doing a lot of listening very
Yes,
carefully to
sir.
you ladies with all the
Yes,
wisdom,
ladies, we gonna
with
take
all
him
the
on
wisdom
tonight.
that you're going to share with us tonight. So if I don't say much and I start to cry, don't laugh. Okay, I'm gonna get emotional here. Okay, all
That's
right.
okay. I
Sometimes
accept
men
it.
just need to listen. That's all they need to do.
Thank
Listen.
you.
So
There you go.
That
Oh.
good.
that's my girl. I feel good already, because these ladies are just firing already. I like it. I like it. All right, so guests, please introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about what you do before we jump into this very, very hot topic tonight. I'm gonna start with you, Toby. Good night, and just tell us, a little bit about yourself and what you've been up to.
Okay, hi everyone. I am Tobia Stewart James. I am a counselor by profession. I am someone who believes in just the self. I believe in building a brand, a positive brand. I believe in people. I believe in making persons become their true selves, whether it is socially, sexually, any part of the alleys there
Okay.
is.
I
Okay.
like
I
that.
believe in it.
That kind
I
of covers
believe
everything.
in
I
it.
think. I think that covers it all.
I
I mean,
think so. I think so. Yeah. And it so happens that I wanted to be a sex therapist some
oh,
years
Okay.
ago. Yeah. So, talking about I'm very fascinated with sex and pleasure and all of that. So yeah.
thank you,
Nice. Thank you. Thank you.
Sade.
Oh, nice. Hi, everyone. Thanks for
How are you,
having me.
Sade?
Hi.
I am
You're
good.
welcome.
I'm good. I hope you're
Awesome.
good too. So I'm Shade Company. We retail and distribute. So at Fetish, we aim to assist individuals, in the whole sexual health and sexual growth.
I think we might be having
And
a.
some
Yeah,
things
there
that,
you
yeah,
go.
something is happening.
Yeah, just a little bit of glitch here in the what
Yes.
we can. Yes. So we're going to continue with Karelia. You can pick it up when you get a little situated with the Wi-Fi. You can be a Wi-Fi issue there. So we'll bring it back
So,
in. Okay, Sade. Okay.
Oh, well, thank you so much for
are you
having me
there?
here.
Okay.
I am just absolutely honored and delighted to
Oh,
to
Bacala.
get to learn a whole bunch myself, I'm sure, this evening. And thank you to Yumi Radio and all the listeners out there who are coming out to hear this kind of challenging conversation, this fun,
Yes.
cool, important conversation, but still one that, might make folks feel a little nervous. So thank you for
Yes.
being here and doing that. I am a romance writer, and my brand image focuses on CLITERACY. Latest release is Satisfaction Guaranteed. It's hit Amazon top romances of 2021, and it is about two women who co-inherit a failing sex toy store. And
Wow.
they have 1 month
Mm.
to save it from bankruptcy. One of the women is a pleasure educator. She's very experienced and knowledgeable about sex. Other woman is about to turn 30 and she's never had an orgasm. She's had very limited sexual experience, and that's really weighing on her. She feels bad
Mm.
about not having those experiences. She feels like people might judge her for it. And so together, they find love because it's a romance novel. We always get a happily ever after. It's a guarantee with romance. That's why I love the genre. But one of the things I tried to do with this book that's just like fun, light, easy, read it over the weekend kind of thing, was to sneak in there some education about cliteracy and female pleasure, so that someone would pick up the book just because it's fun, but they'd come away maybe knowing a little bit more about their own body if they have a clitoris, or if they're with someone with a clitoris, maybe have a little better idea of how to be intimate with that person. So I've just been so delighted by the feedback I've gotten from folks who've had that experience, and I can't wait to talk about the clitoris some more here with y'all.
All right. All right. So Sade, we had a little bit of glitch here, but you're back. I'm glad you're back. You didn't leave us. We weren't hearing you, so we kind of went along to come back at you. So you're still here. We all here, and we want to hear you now. Let's kind of start over
Yes.
again what you were saying earlier. And thank you,
Okay.
by the way,
Sure.
Karelia.
That's fine. So as I said before, director of Fetish Secrets Limited, we are adult novelty company. So we retail and distribute pleasure products, sex toys as is. So we assist individuals, in discovering their different fetishes, desires, and stuff like that. And we sexually educate you to a better sexual health and sexual growth.
Yes. Thank you so much. That sounds really, really.
Thank you so
It's
much.
like a mouthful in a short bite. I'm mindful
That's
fitness
my
taught by
place. That's my
yes, yes.
place.
So
That's your and listen, I
Oh,
think
that's my place.
Karela wrote about Shadre in her book because she has a sex store and her book talks about somebody.
Oh,
Yes, her books talk about somebody who inherited a business that was, like that. So I like this vibe. I like this
mm-hmm.
vibe.
Yes.
So my first question. Oh, for some person have been asking about the name of the book, Karela. So it is Satisfaction Guaranteed, correct?
Guaranteed.
Yes, Satisfaction
Indeed.
Guaranteed.
Yeah,
okay.
and
Lovely, lovely.
you can pick it up in all the places like Amazon, Barnes and Noble, where you might get your
Okay.
books.
All right.
All right. All right, Karela, since you're on the floor, let me ask you, what is the number one thing that people don't know about the clitoris?
I think that probably the number one thing people don't know is that it looks like this, and it's about the size of well, this is probably to scale. Toby, you can tell me if it looks about right. It's not that much smaller than the non-erect penis. But for so long, we've been taught, if we've been taught about it at all, that it's just this little tiny button on the outside, but there's actually a whole structure on the inside.
Inside. Yeah.
Yeah,
So all
yeah.
this time I had it wrong. All this time.
Yes.
Somebody have mercy on me. Oh wow.
I don't know if your sex ed classes, if you had them, were the same as mine, but we didn't hear any of that. If we're
Not at
lucky, we
all.
might get a little
No,
dot
not
that
at
said
all.
clitoris.
That's what I
but that
thought.
was it.
Yeah. A little this little
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And then
See,
the
I'm,
other
I'm
thing,
learning. I'm learning already. I'm listening. I'm learning already. I'm learning.
then the other thing that I think is just so challenging and causing a lot of heartbreak for folks is that the kind of sex acts that really work for someone with a penis aren't necessarily the ones that are going to work for the clitoris. So penetration, fun, awesome, but it's not the best way to bring a woman or someone with a clitoris to orgasm. So there are a lot of women out there like not getting quite what they need from penetration, and a lot of men, folks with penises, feeling bad because somehow they're failing to please their female partners, when in fact they've kind of been told the wrong thing. They said, you got to do this, you got to last long, you got to be big, and that's not actually what they need to do. So then you got some people feeling like they're not like living up to what they should be, and other people feeling like they're not getting what there must be something wrong with them because they don't get off on this. So anyways, a lot of sadness, I think, coming from folks not knowing enough about the clitoris. So that's why I think it's so cool that we're here and we're having this conversation.
Wow.
Yes. And I think it's important to really acknowledge that while it's an organ where you are able to see the clitoris, visibly see it, where it is right there alone, that's like 8,000 nerve endings.
Wow.
Just there. 8,000 nerve
I've heard
endings.
that. I've heard that.
Yeah. So when you think about,
very sensitive.
Right, that sensitivity, and if you just apply pressure, even the simplest amount of pressure for some women, it can just set them off. So it's a major part of pleasure.
So you would say it's really sad, ladies, to have something like that with such sensitivity and not enjoy, not be pleasured. That's another sad fact because the way it's designed is supposed to be, right?
Yes.
So even that note, as I would ask the names. I'm not great with names, but if you show them on the screen, I'll get them. Yes, Sade. I remember that. So
Yes.
Sade, I heard you mention about a store. Now, when someone comes to the store and they want to buy something, I mean, what is your education process in saying, hey, did it go to like some kind of listing or what they're looking for, and you give them some kind of education, or what do you think may be recommended for what they want? or is it just like, okay, you want this, you can have it or whatever? How do you go about that
Oh
process?
no. Certainly, it's a education process because when you first come in, I first have to like talk to you, and then I have to read your energy and communicate with you. So
Okay.
I have to know what form of stimulation that you're looking for, which is the first thing. And when it comes down to sex and it comes down to the clitoris, there's a lot of scrutiny, there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of dismissal. So you have to first let that person get comfortable with you to actually be able to talk to you about sex openly, because a lot of persons still have it as being taboo. So we have to first know what form of stimulation you want. What kind of pleasure are you looking for? Is it clitoral stimulation? Are you looking at stimulation for your G-spot? Are you looking at anal stimulation? So we first have to get to know that. Then I can better advise you to say, okay, this is what I recommend for a certain stimulation, and then the clitoris is so sensitive. You do have women that takes forever to have an orgasm. You do have women that, it takes seconds for them to orgasm. So different vibrations and pulsations can determine that too whenever they come in store. You may just want one intense speed, one mode, or you may want different pulsations, different vibrations, because you take forever to have an orgasm. So we have to sexually educate them first. Yeah.
Now, maybe all you ladies can probably answer this question for me.
Sorry to cut you, DJ KTE. I want to ask a follow-up question to that. What is the ratio of male to female that come to you and ask you about these questions? Because I know for the majority of men, once you hear sex toys, they're like, because they think it's a replacement. So they don't think it's an enhancement to the bedroom, or how can I allow my woman to or whoever the partner is to feel that
comfortable
stimulation. Men usually just see the toy as an enemy. So what's the
that
ratio like that men to women that come
the
to
ratio
you,
would be
and
60.
how and how do they treat with the information that you're given?
The number one thing to succeed in that are the ratio is 60-40. Women being 60, men being 40. So it's all about being inclusive with your partner. So sexually communicating with your partner is the go-to. So for a female to come to the store and they want to purchase some form of stimulation, some form of pleasure for the partner, for the both of them, you have to be inclusive. Try not to come alone, or maybe it's a discussion that you have communicated with your partner before, which is very important, because you don't just want to come and purchase something and then you have that gag feeling in the bedroom. Like, you don't want that. And it's the same thing for a male. Just try to be as inclusive as possible, because you do have couples toys that the both of you can enjoy together. So being inclusive is what I always recommend. Do not come, a female might come and feel like she want to purchase something for herself. Oh, he may like this or whatever. No, you have that open conversation before. And if he's okay with it, then fine, you can come alone. If not, the both of you can come together, and then you can see the variety and you can have open discussions. If you can't have it in your alone space, your alone time, at least you can have it inside a space like my space, where you can openly talk about what you may like, what you may dislike, and the form of stimulation that you both want to experience together. So being inclusive is one of my main things for couples once they come inside fetish.
Wow. A listener says, no want, no toy. She better use me as her toy. but let me ask this question to the ladies. Can you tell me, ladies, from your perspective, how much of the stimulation or the experience has to do with your mental state, has to do with how maybe relaxed you are, maybe how you've dealt with traumas. How important is that to really enjoy, know your body, and really just not miss out?
Listen, you can't jump into it. I wouldn't tell anybody to just jump right into it and you're ready to go. There is foreplay, and foreplay is not just touching just the clitoris. Foreplay can include you just setting the mood. So you're setting the mood. You have the lights down low. You probably have
Turn
some
off the
music go.
lights. Okay, now I'm about to sing out. I'm about to sing a
You
song.
have
Watch
the
me.
music going on there. You're probably even just lightly caressing the person to know that, listen, it's that time of the night. So you get the person mentally stimulated first.
Okay.
All right, we're there. Now, where do you go from there? You could probably go to the pleasure points, because as persons know, there are different ways or access to pleasure and starting the fire. It could be behind her ear, that you are kissing her behind her ear. It could be that you're trailing kisses around her breasts, you know, all of that. Before you even get there, you're heightening anticipation. And that alone, it gives the woman such a rush when you get there. So it is like you're not just jumping right into it. You are setting the mood mentally, and then you're going into it physically.
Wow.
Listen, I'm so here for it.
Karelia?
Listen,
I want to
I
hear your
have a
thoughts on that.
question. This is a
If you don't mind, I'd like to hear Karelia start on this
go ahead.
and also
Go ahead, Karelia, and then I'll ask the other question. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I completely agree with what Toby said. Absolutely. And it can take many women 45 minutes to reach orgasm. It's not a fast process for a lot of women, and that's a beautiful thing. For some people, for some women it is, but for a lot it's not. But when they get there, one orgasm can lead to more and more. So that's oh my gosh, the mind is so important for a lot of women as well. And with that question of sex toys, because it is, you know, if you haven't used them, it can be kind of intimidating or a little strange. But I always think about it like a hobby. Like if you like to go fishing, you want to buy all the fishing gear, right? You get all the tackle and you get the box. You like to do crochet, you buy all the extra yarn. Everybody's got that like big basket of yarn for the 2 seconds they thought they would knit. You buy stuff to go with your hobby. So if you think about having sex with your partner is another fun hobby, well, you got to get the gear to go with it. You got to get the stuff.
I got you. Which leads me to the question, and I want to ask all of y'all ladies this: is the G spot real? Is it real?
As real as it can get.
Yeah, it's not a myth. It's not a myth. It's not a myth. And you know, just for education purposes,
please tell them.
For education purposes, let me just put it all out there. So how the clitoris is set up, and you know, probably Karelia, you can just show them that thing again. No, when you look inside the clitoris, yes, it has the outer clitoris and then it has the inner clitoris. Okay. So when you look inside, you see that space right there? That's like the space for the penis, basically. You see those things on the side? That is what you call the vaginal walls. Or that is the vestibular region that they're talking about. And that part also forms part of your pleasure. So can you imagine you are creating the right fiction there and you're getting deep? That is where the G-spot is located. It's arguable. You know, a lot of persons are doing research and they're saying that based on that fact, because of the sensitivity of the tissues there, they're saying that that could be where the G-spot is located if you're hitting it right.
And I think it's not like one spot, right? It's not like there's this one button
area.
It's like it's the area. It's the clitoris stimulated through the vaginal walls.
Yes.
Wow.
All right. And you know, to add to that too, as Toby has said, when it comes on to the G spot, and we discovered that, okay, it does exist. We do have other spots that we need to know as women too. You know, you have to know to explore your body to discover these spots. It's important in guiding your partner, in pleasing you. It's very important. And masturbation is always key. It's not just the G spot. You have the C spots, you have the A spots, and then you have the cul-de-sac. So there are a lot of spots inside that we need to know as women, we have to, stop having this guilt and this shameful thing where masturbation is concerned, and we have to touch our bodies, and we have to get to know our spots and get used to our spots. That way we'll be able to have honest and open communication with our sexual partners about how to please us and what makes us feel good and what we're going to have an orgasm from. So that's another important point too.
Yes,
and
exactly.
let me add this. Let me add this, ladies. Men are known not to talk a lot. We tend to kind of just want to hum our way through life and don't say much. So how would you guide a gentleman who may be inexperienced and may not have the knowledge of how to really please a woman? How much is talking is important to that lady, and how could it guide him to be more, verbal? Women, I think they appreciate the verbal a lot as well, more. How would you treat that? And you all can answer different in your own way.
Is it verbal in the bedroom or
Yeah,
just
verbal in before, during, and after. Just the whole process of just having that conversation, having that that's really what you say to a woman to make it even more.
communication is important. On all levels, communication is important. So if you as a female can even start that process first, because sometimes men can be very into themselves because they know one thing and they have been good at that one thing until they meet you. So if you can even guide that conversation from before so that he himself can be a little bit more open as to what can please you. And then it too is important that during the sexual act itself, when you find out as the man what pleases, that partner, and you are, talking about the whole sexual act during the intercourse itself, you ask the woman, does that feel good? We cannot underestimate that question. Does that feel good? Is that good for you? Does that feel good? Do you want it harder? So that it guides the woman to say, yes, man, I'm feeling good, because we have to communicate even in the sexual act itself. So, when you start the conversation first as the woman, babe, this is what I like, I like when my clitoris is stimulated, whether you want to use a finger, your tongue, whatever, I like that kind of thing. And when you're inside, I like when you do it slow and deep, because it kind of
that detail,
stimulates
get that
it.
detail.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
get that detail out there from the very beginning, so that when you're in the sex act, because you've been so open, now he can in a way open up too to ask you, is it good for you?
Interesting. I like that. I like that response.
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
That is true.
And
what
would
is
you
also
say?
interesting.
Go ahead, Shadi. Go ahead, Shadi.
What I wanted to add to what Toby said, which is very important, that sometimes a lot of men, they don't like to be vulnerable in the bedroom. I mean, overall in the relationship, because they have to have that sort of trust and that sort of comfort with their sexual partner. And what we have to always remember is that foreplay, moreplay, and after care is very important too in the whole sexual communication. That's really important. So by we get to the bedroom, we already know what's happening. So when you get to the bedroom, it's us enhancing or sexual experience, whatever we're doing for stimulation, because we already have that in our foreplay and our more plays. So we already connect so much with our partner, and we're so in tune with the energy and the communication, and you're so sex positive in what you're doing to allow your partner to please you, and your partner allowing you to please. So it's almost like a two-way street. Men are always so focused on pleasing the woman sometimes that they do forget about themselves, and sometimes a lot of women forget about pleasing the men. They just think sometimes it's about the oral experience, and it's really not finding out, like, okay, babe, what do you like? So it goes both ways, in my opinion, that I think sometimes we have to know how to please our partner too, or try to guide each other along the way. I mean, we don't grow up getting sexual education. We don't grow up having those spaces, and then there's this make believe where porn is concerned. No, porn is not real sex at the end of the day. So everybody and most men try to go off of what porn is, and the idea of how you should moan and groan and what you should look at, the position that you
I
should look
should
like. So
say.
sex becomes so tense,
And
because
how you should
you're having
look.
sex and this mental thing, you're thinking about your angle, you're thinking about how shallow it is, you're thinking about the rotation, you're thinking about so many things. So sometimes our mental too will kind of
Wow, that's
mess
important.
we up.
Yes.
So we have
Wow.
it is.
Wow.
Yes.
I think men have been told that they are responsible, many men, that it is their job to make the woman reach orgasm by using their penis.
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That's so true.
I've been with my
Lord
wife.
help me, Lord help me, Lord help me, help me, help me.
Yeah. If we're going to get personal, I've been with my wife for 22 years. I have a sex life I absolutely am so happy with. I think maybe half a dozen times I've reached orgasm purely through penetration. So the way that men are told they have to bring a woman to orgasm, that lesson they get that if you can't do this, you're failing.
You're a failure.
Sex life was like, reaching orgasm is something that one achieves with one's partner. It's a journey you go on, and each person is responsible for helping and celebrating and also taking care of themselves. And I think there's just this terrible pressure put on men that somehow they need to do it all by themselves for the woman and with their penis, which anatomically is not always the best method.
The best, true.
To add to that point, Karelia, I remember one experience I had many years ago, and I think I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Mr. Marriott, you might be touching the edge of hypertension. So to kind of alleviate that issue, let me try to give you some water pills, to hopefully you won't get to that point, and change your diet, do some things differently." Of course, I got them some pills and I started taking them. I had no clue what it would have done to my body and the kind of reaction I would have had. So at the time I was mad, of course. And, during the action pack, the Mr. Pac-Man wasn't working too hard. He was failing the test, so to speak. And so when I heard these words, "What happened to you?" I'm thinking, I don't know. You tell me. I mean, I'm trying to make it. It was the most, and she didn't mean anything harm by it. I'm pretty sure she didn't. But it was a new thing for her, experience that the length and whatever. It wasn't as hard, and I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on either. I mean, what I'm not. I didn't sleep around nowhere. I wake up this morning and I'm trying to make it happen, but it felt so bad. So many men do feel really bad, like, oh, I failed. I'm a failure because I can't bring my spouse or my significant other to orgasm. And it's a great point you mentioned, Shadi and Karelia, about that part of it, and it needs to be addressed a little more. And ladies also realize that men are very sensitive egos. You'd be amazed how that part of their life is. Oh my! You can crush him so badly, he'll never get up again. Yeah,
that's the truth.
Yes.
A great point you ladies mentioned about that.
That's the truth. What's the truth?
Yes.
I got another book.
Go ahead, Karelia. I heard you say something.
Go ahead.
I have another book recommendation for you because I'm an English teacher and a writer. So I always get a book recommendation. This one, She Comes First, is a wonderful, wonderful book on bringing a woman to orgasm, written by a sex therapist and a man who also, for part of his life, was not able to use his penis for that purpose. And he felt like he was a failure because he had to do other things, and then realized, oh, actually the other things are really working for his female partners. So this is a how-to, and I think it's just a lovely book. It gets a little specific at the end where there's like recipes for 3 of those and 2 of these and some of that. And I'm like, okay, that's really more than I can keep track of in my mind.
Okay.
The big ideas, the big concepts are really good, and definitely recommend that to folks.
So, man, if you're out there and you
Yeah.
you want to get some ideas, you heard it first here. Get the
And I
book.
think I'd like to also add, just from experience, when I was married, my husband would do foreplay and get me there. Then we'd go on with the penetration. I'd be there as well. But then he would pull out and then get me there again using his fingers, all of that.
Okay.
And then he would go back to penetration to get me. So I am there. When
I
people talk
like
about,
him.
oh,
I like
I
him.
only, climax once or whatever, I would have nights, days, whatever, when literal multiple orgasms because of how he treated the whole thing. And let me tell you also, let me give you a tip. After he would pull out and he would get me there with his finger or whatever, that's the only time I could squirt. The only
Wow.
time I could squirt. And then right after I would get there, he would go back right in there. And that's me going off again in a matter of seconds.
And you left him? What happened here?
Oh no, my husband died. My husband died.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I would not leave that.
My deepest condolences to you. But I
Aw.
like him. You see,
Oh
that's
yeah.
one of the things I think that some men don't get. It's not all about I think both partners win when they understand each other.
Yeah.
For example, they read the partner. So just like when you talk about your husband will start with the foreplay, and what he does with his fingers, his mouth, whatever would get you off. Then he would build up that momentum with penetration, because men, that's what men like, the penetration. So
Yes.
that gets him off as well, but he doesn't leave you there and go off snoring, sleep, and go watch TV and so on. He goes right back. And so the levels of pleasure keeps going. And so
Exactly.
you're feeling it
Yeah.
tomorrow morning when
Yeah.
you wake up and you go to work and all of that. And
Trust me.
Yes.
you don't want to miss that. But I think I think the whole idea is understanding each other's body, not only woman's body but the
Yes.
man's
Yeah.
body as well. Having that connection with each other, and that may take some time, that may take some
True.
practice, because especially if not something you're used to, it may take a
Yeah.
little getting into. And I know men, not all men are really into the foreplay. They're erected, they're hard, they just want to get at it. And some men believe that foreplay takes too much time. It takes too much time. But once you get into it, guys, it's gonna be worth it. I'm gonna tell you.
I agree.
Somebody asked,
I
what is
agree on
Be
squirt?
that
worth it.
as well.
One of you
I
asked,
agree
what is
with you on
squirt?
that,
Squirt
Miss
is the female ejaculate.
It's
That's what
not
we
Ejaculation.
pee.
call.
It's not pee,
It's
right?
not pee.
It's not
It's
a
called the
golden
female
shower.
ejaculate. Yeah. So it
It's
is
not a
like the female version of when a man, shoots off. The women
yeah,
And men
actually
can
have
exactly.
squirt
that
too.
as well. Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
men can squirt is what you
Yes.
said?
Yeah, so
Yes, they
both men
can.
and women can squirt. Yes, so men can
Okay.
squirt as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's
So
important,
it is
as
a
Misty and Toby said
intense
that,
pleasure.
because nurturing in sex is very important, and a lot of persons don't get that. And then what persons have to really be mindful for in sex is that you need intimacy as well. A lot of people don't think about the intimacy of your whole sexual relation, the romance and the nurturing of it all, as Toby described it, the nurturing of it all, the intimacy of it all. That's the whole sexual connection of it all. It's not just me coming, all right, babe, where you're like, yeah, I like when you turn my back, where I'm arch my back or something. No, you have to nurture the whole process. That's what sex is about, getting intimate and connecting with your partners, almost like soul to soul connection with the positive energy that's happening in the bedroom.
Wow.
That's
So
it.
so
That's
what I'm
it
hearing,
right there.
what I'm hearing is that people go to school to get their PhD and whether it's science or engineering or different things they go to school for, and they get into that study. So what I'm hearing tonight is that there's so much more that can be achieved when folks really get into it, get into the understanding of the human body, get into conversation, be open, be open, and realize that sometimes they're getting 40% when they could be getting 80-90%.
True.
Because some people are happy with the 40-50%, they're very happy, but really if they knew that they were missing out 90%, they would say, wait a minute, let me kind of regroup my mind and reset myself and get some education here. I must be honest, when I first heard the word, and this was years ago when I was a young man in college, heard the term sex therapist, I thought I was crazy. Like, huh? What would they need a sex therapist for? But as you get older, you realize that, listen, all those areas, those things are very important because, it's wanting to have the experience before and afterwards and see the difference in being ignorant and having a little more knowledge, And so as you talk about your book and you store and you bring the knowledge to people, as a counselor, that is the idea. How can we now bring that out to the audience and they can say, wow, we can now utilize these information, because many people are sex starved and they're married. They're missing out and they're together. They have a relationship.
That's
and they're still
right.
missing out such an important element, as Shadi was saying. That's soul to soul connection, that heart to heart, understanding. And so again, ladies, I'm blown away here, hearing you guys being so transparent and so honest and so informative here. So let it rip. I'm still listening, ladies. I'm still listening.
Let it rip.
Okay, nice.
Before you guys continue, once again, guys, if you're just coming in the room, you're a tad bit late, but welcome. You are listening to Let's Talk Relationships, and we have three amazing ladies joining us tonight, and we are talking about cliteracy, and we're talking about stimulation of the female, how to get it done top notch style. Please feel free to jump in the comment section. We are looking at your questions and we're going to be throwing some of those questions to our guests tonight, and they're going to be answering them as best as possible. I saw one question jumping in the question and answer segment, jumping in it with the question, and I think I saw a travel escapade with that question. It doesn't start in the bedroom, does it?
Mm-mm.
No,
There you
No, it
go.
no,
doesn't. It doesn't.
no.
It really doesn't.
And I must ask a question. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying you can start the person up from even on the ride home. You're sending text to the person and they're all excited about what's going to happen at home, because you're having a picture of probably the shoulder, you're having a picture of the chest, and the words saying that I can't wait to do this, I can't wait to do that, and you're getting the person already thinking about it. All right, they might not be moist down there but they're thinking about it because of the
Yes.
journey you're taking them on, and then by the time
Okay.
they hit the door, that's something going on while they're in there and they cross the threshold, and it's just that journey that you take them. So it is not just the bedroom, it happens from even before that.
All
But
right.
All right.
I have a
think
question.
that-
I have a question, ladies, if you don't mind me asking this. But I thought you were saying something, Karelia. I think you were saying something. Just finish that thought, and I will ask a question.
Oh, I was just going to say, for all those busy people out there, it's sexy to plan sex.
Okay.
It is
Yeah.
totally. My wife and I will be like,
That's new.
what are you doing Thursday? No, Thursday's super booked. Saturday morning. And it's hot because then you get to look forward to it and you're not wondering, are we not? Yeah. I think there's some
Wow.
ideas sometimes that if you have to plan it, like it kills the romance. I don't think so at all. I think it just gives you something to look forward to and a little bit of certainty. You know what you're doing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So here's my question, ladies. Here is my question to you, ladies. Interesting point Karelia's made. Interesting point. Having gone into this area, be it a book or a store or where you counsel these things, did you have any pushback from family? Maybe some of you might have been a part of a church maybe before, it could be a PK, for all I know, from sisters, brothers. Did you have any pushback in touching these issues? And each you
Well,
can
I'm a Christian.
each you can can expound on
I'm a
that.
Christian, and this is something that I have been very passionate about. I like to see people enjoy themselves sexually. It's not just for procreation, guys, and I'm a Christian. So I like talking about sex. I like exploring it. I'm so fascinated with it. So, I mean, if persons, I did something today and I sent it out to persons who would be in the church, and I'm sure that they're probably watching, and I'm sure that probably somebody's going to call me and say, I don't think this is the thing for you. But if persons know me, they know that I don't care.
Wow.
I don't care because I believe
I'm right there
strongly.
with you. I'm right there
I
with you.
believe strongly, strongly, strongly that even Christian people have sex and they are supposed to have good sex.
I hear you. Hallelujah. All right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
Sade,
wow.
right.
Sade, I want to hear
For
your story on that one.
me, it's oh Lord.
I
Well,
can tell.
I was brought up in the Jehovah's Witness because my whole family is Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, strict. Oh
So
my
we know
goodness.
how.
Sade.
Yeah.
Oh
So it's
boy.
it's really
Yeah.
strict. Yep. That's all
Uh-huh.
I
Yes,
know.
it's
That's
strict.
all I've
Yeah.
ever known. So I've never been in a church, maybe unless it's for like a funeral or a wedding. So it's always
Okay.
a kingdom of a Jehovah's Witness.
Mhm.
So for me, growing up in that church, that religion, I don't know, but I've always been the wanting to explore mutual curiosities type. Like there has to
Okay.
be more, So I realized that wanting to know more, there's not enough education on that. There's not enough spaces
Okay.
where you can go on to get sexual education. So that's hence why I stepped out to create that space to try and get it on mainstream to say, hey, it's okay to talk about sex. Especially when you're growing up in the church and you hear one thing. If you touch yourself, you're going to hell. If you use condom, if you sex, you're gonna get pregnant, but you're not being told otherwise. Like the fundamental core of the whole sexual wellness and your sexual being, like to protect you
Okay.
against these STIs and stuff and whatever.
Just do's
But
and
for me,
don'ts.
it doesn't matter what nobody thinks. It really satisfied me in helping other individuals to have that whole sexual pleasure. And that's what I enjoy doing, assisting individuals to discovering these things, because persons really don't know. They don't know. You have persons that really don't know how to stimulate a clitoris when you're doing oral sex. So I want to be a part of that community. I want to be a part of that space, that sexually educate persons.
Okay.
Women don't know how to find the G-spot. Men do not know. How are we going to know? Porn is not it. And whatever soft porn they show on these HBO movies or whatever they claim it to be, like they just don't know. So I want to be a part of that community and create that space that we can sexually educate persons, no matter what you do. Because listen, this is life. You get fighting life all day, every day for whatever it is. And life is a learning process. We learn every day. I can tell that probably me and my guests, we learn about something. We learn about sex, something new every day. Like there's always something new to learn. There's always somebody coming to you to tell you about this and to tell you about that. So I enjoy doing it because I want to know. I want to know how I can better help you in your sexual growth and your sexual health.
Right,
It's a big thing, and it's not just okay. You're selling sex toys, but then you have the medical aspect of it. And then you have the whole, if you want to get into it, you have the sexual trauma. A lot of women really don't like fingering because they've been so traumatized from a younger age. The stepfather, the uncle, and the brother, them, everybody touch you and you do all of that. So here you have to have persons that you need an outlet to release all of that. You need help. And then here comes you have, oh my God, so many things, the tantric massages to help with all that embryo and everything that you've been going through. So it gets on the medical terms of things, if you're a sex addict, you masturbate so much. I mean, there's so many things to it. There's so many things that we need to know. It's almost like the clitoris, because it's not just the pea size that's there. It's the whole glands that as Karelia showed you.
Yeah.
So that's what the whole sex thing is about, and the whole sexual relation. So for me, I don't care. I enjoy it, and I enjoy when my clients and customers are sexually satisfied and they're pleased, and we need that. We need open conversations for that. Women need to start asking for what they want. Women need to stop faking orgasms. You're not feeling it. You need to talk. You need to say what you want, what you don't want, and men need to do that as well. So I enjoy it. I don't care.
Great point. Great point, Shadi. But let me add this to the point you make. Now, this is where I'm trying to figure out. Have you ever had people like maybe Christians who came like undercover, like, shh, don't tell anybody, just help me with this? People who are very religious, but they really are in search themselves for, the enjoyment. Have you ever dealt with that, ladies?
Of course.
And you have to advise them,
I have.
kind of. Mm-hmm. You want to speak to that a little bit, if you don't mind?
Well, I mean, what's the good thing about it? Sometimes, I don't know how to say it, but I think sometimes a lot of Christians can be hypocrites, and they can be very hypocritical. They say one thing and then do another, and that's life. It's okay. But there are a lot of Christians that want to do things. They want to explore. Hey, you're human too. You have feelings too. You have emotions. Christians want to have an orgasm. Everybody wants to experience that euphoric orgasm. Everybody wants to be stimulated some way, somehow. But the thing is with Christians, I mean, I don't know. Listen, talking about Christians and sex is politics. It's not something I like to talk about.
Oh, yes.
It is politics.
Oh, yes.
So it's
I get you. I get you.
But
Big time.
I get you. I get you. To be very inclusive, especially if you have your partner. Nothing is wrong with you wanting to explore with your partner, and you are Christians. Like, that's who you're supposed to explore with. That's who you're supposed to want to do everything with and get to know that person. So Christians do come. I'm very non-judgmental at all times. It doesn't matter. But if you do come and you need my help, I'm going to assist you. As long as you're inclusive, I'm fine.
All right.
Wow.
All right, Shade, it's a perfect time to take a spotlight break. All right, and this spotlight comes from our very, very, very own Apostle Faith. She is a pastor and she sings a sex song. Y'all need to hear that. All right, so we're going to our spotlight right now. And
I am just hoping that someone purchased this CD. It's called the Spiritual Erotic Expression of Love. Yes, if this is mostly geared to couples, and this will help to inspire couples to be more mindful and be more appreciative of what God has given them. And it's a very good stimulator to build up yourself in the bedroom. Yes, it's highly sexual. Yes, so it has that mindset for you to think on sex. That's what it's all about, because God ordained it for marriage. So if you are married, you should be functioning at the junction. And this CD does help to stimulate your mindset. So if you have lost your buzz or lost your fizz or whatever it is, you better get right down dirty diggy with it. Come on now. We're not going to neglect that part of our marital bed. Well, we know a part of marriage is communication. You're verbally talking, but also connecting with your body is another form of communication as well. So this CD will certainly help you in that area. It will, if you have a little slow in that area or something kind of offbeat and you kind of lose it, like I said before, come on, put that spot back in there, honey, and get back on that horse. Okay? All right now. I ain't joking now. This is real. Okay? God said marriage is honorable, the bed is undefiled. So you better work it. Come on, you got your husband, got your wife, work it. Make that bedroom spicy. Come on now. I'll work it. Because let me tell you something. God made marriage for a reason, and it's for us to enjoy each other. So it's important for you to spend time in that place as well. Not only, like I said before, communicating through mouth, connecting with each other, praying, doing different things, but also get jiggy in the bedroom. Okay, so this CD will definitely help you in that area. Trust me. Yes, it's kind of heavy. So if you got issues and got some, things about sex, about your body parts, well, I don't know if you can listen to this, if you can contain yourself, because this is highly sexual. I ain't playing. Okay, so get your copy today at the website. Oh, trust me, it will blow your mind. You get a little tip of it at the website, but I want you to order it. And once the order comes through, I send the copy out to you, and you just order it on the website. And it's $5, and plus you pay shipping and handling to get it to you. So, and order one for your couples. You got your young people getting married. Thank God, some of them are getting married. Give them a copy in there. Give them a copy of the CD in their gift bag, or something. Whatever you're doing, throw a copy in there. Buy a few. Give out to married couples to spice up their relationship. All right. So thank you. God bless.
Okay.
All right.
Oh
Thank you so
yes.
much. Listen, she said she ain't playing. She ain't playing. My
That's
husband is like
right.
this.
Wow.
That's
See,
right.
my husband saying that he needs a copy. So I'll
Uh-oh.
go get that. I
Mm-hmm.
need to go
Spice it
get
up.
that.
Spice it up.
Spice things spice it up.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
that was Apostle Faith Waters. Listen, go get it. It is hot. Go get it. Okay. She ain't playing. She said she ain't playing. Thank you so much for that spotlight. Thank you so much. All right. So we are continuing on our conversation about uh, the woman's stimulation and how to get it there in the bedroom. I saw a question earlier that I want us to talk a little bit about. I know, the curtains are coming down slowly but surely, but there's a question from Travel Escapades. And the question said, do you think the taboo of where is it? Yes. Do you think the taboo of sex forces people to suppress and they sometimes become predators
Mm.
When they can't control
when
Wow.
themselves.
they can't control themselves?
Wow.
I
Mm.
don't think it is necessarily that they become predators. It could be that these are,
Mm-hmm.
latent things that have been there for a long time. Those kinds of desires to go against maybe what sex should be. So instead of you're doing it consensually, you're probably doing it non-consensually. That's something that is the person is probably psychologically hardwired. There's something there that is causing that kind of reaction. But in terms of suppression, you know, what I've seen suppression do is that persons are embarrassed to even
Mm-hmm.
do what they need to do, in the bedroom because they are so, suppressed. Church doesn't talk about it. My mom didn't talk about it. Nobody around me
Mm-hmm.
talks about it. And then we start thinking, okay, so how can I get the information? So you go to pornography. But what you see in pornography is not what is out there in the world. So you are even further
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
suppressed
wait.
like
Wow.
that. You know what I'm saying? So you're there wondering, okay, how do I do this? And then some of the times, because you're so suppressed, you don't know as a person what pleases me, especially if you're a female. You don't know what pleases you. And then when you get into a relationship, that person doesn't know how to please you. That person is probably going to use some old tactics that he used on the other female, and he's going to get it to
Mm-hmm.
use it on you because that lady, she didn't complain, so you can't complain. And when you're not pleased, you realize that there's a breakdown in the relationship there. So in terms of deviancy, where that is concerned, I don't think sexual suppression does that, but that in itself, that deviant switch in their brain is an abnormality, a psychological abnormality.
Wow. Interesting point.
All right. Interesting. Um, there was another question that somebody texted to me, I think Karelia spoke about it when she introduced the second book. And the question is, what are some of the other ways to please a partner and to get them highly stimulated? I know in the beginning of the show, I read a few from the article I was reading from on healthline.com. But share with us some of your, what you have read, what you've experienced, and the other ladies can chime in as well.
Well, I am so excited to share this resource with people because I think it answers all the questions, or so many of them. It's a web series called OMG Yes. So like, oh my gosh, yes. And it is a beautifully done, high production value series of informational videos about how women masturbate. And there are women who have volunteered to be part of the program to talk about how they masturbate, to show how they masturbate. And they break it down by, 6 or 8 different techniques that a lot of women use. And then they have a second series, which is on penetration. And each little unit is a brilliant tip for bringing pleasure to a woman. I cannot recommend it enough. And it's really sexy too. So if there are women out there who are like, I want to talk about this with my partner, but I'm kind of nervous to do it. If you feel comfortable, you can say like, hey, would you watch, each segment is like, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like, hey, I'd love this. This would be so good for me. Will you watch the video with me? Or, hey, I don't really know what I want. Can we try like each one of these? Really cool program. OMG, yes.
Interesting. So it's really getting to know your body well, and in doing so, you can also be able to emit that to your partner. And that's great. That's really.
And to kind of shy away, just using an experience here to shy away from the whole clitoris stimulation. I once orgasmed just by the pleasure point of my nipples. Just that. Just doing that, and I orgasm. So, I mean, there are other ways to orgasm, even though, yes, the clitoris is actually one of the most important parts of pleasure, the primary source of pleasure for women. But then there are other pleasure points that we also can pay attention to get the woman, maybe not completely there, but it's an erogenous zone that gets the person stimulated in a way. So as I said earlier, the neck can be one of those things. The nipples is one of those things. I've seen persons with the navel, just the inner thighs, not directly at the vulva, which is the outer vagina, but just the inner thighs alone, just kissing that gets the person rearing and ready to go. But in terms of orgasm, of course, we know that the clitoris, that whole area, is the primary source of orgasm for the woman.
I agree with that. So, as you both said, Karelia and Toby, exploration is key. It's very important, very, very important. Exploring with a solo journey or with your partner. You can try different things in exploring those mutual curiosities. You can get into temperature play, you can get into edge play, you can get into impact play. It's just for you to explore with your partner, or maybe on solo journey. Just exploring is really key, as what the other guests had mentioned. Yes.
I have one silly question I must ask you, Sade. Like I said, men are a little bit more touchy when it comes to being a man, a man's man, and making it happen. But what do you recommend if a couple goes to a toy store and if they decide to use an extra toy, dildo in this case, should it be bigger than the man's? Should it be always smaller than his? If she picks it up and it's a little big,
oh my God!
Don't make me laugh. Don't do it. Since he always make it
Oh
smaller
my
than his,
god.
Oh my
Let's
and
just
don't make it
say,
bigger,
first of all,
because that may be a problem. He may go into prime
Listen.
fasting, and Lord, make me Lord, enlarge my territory. So I'm just trying to figure out.
I know. You know, a lot
Please
of
help me,
men,
lady, help
they're
me.
so egotistical, and their
Yeah.
size really matters to them on
Mhm.
all levels.
Yeah.
So it depends on the individual. You know, but overall, probably 90% of men really want it to be the same thing or just a little bit smaller, but nothing
Amen.
bigger.
Amen.
I don't know why. I think it's just ego. For me, I
Yeah.
really think it's just ego. They're just concerned. Men just always think, you know, especially if women or if they should find out that their partner has cheated, the first thing is, him bigger than me, you know, because size matters so much
that's
to
a good
men.
point.
Like,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
they don't understand that it's the size really don't matter. It's how you use what you have.
Use it
You know, and
exactly.
learn to use what you have.
But Sadre, you have
Mhm.
a store, and you know what I've
Mhm.
learned from knowing about toys and appreciating persons who use them is that it's not most men when they think about a toy, they think about a dildo shaped like thing, right? They think about so
Mhm.
that's where size come in.
Exactly.
You have things like the rose. Am I
Right.
right, Shadre? Talk to me
Mm-hmm.
now. Let me see
Yeah.
if
I
I learn.
mean, let
You have
no,
things
no,
like the
you
rose.
are.
You have
Indeed, you are.
you have
Right.
things
But
like the
that's where
bullet. You have things like
you have all of
the
that.
vibrating
Uh-huh.
underwear. So I mean it
Wait,
doesn't have
vibrating
to.
underwear. Well,
You
hold
don't.
up, hold up here. Wait.
Yes,
Well, this show has
you
gone
don't have to
south.
worry about
We
your
have what?
size.
Vibrating under.
Come on,
Yes,
Shadre,
there
Lord,
talk
is.
to
mercy,
them.
There
Lord.
Talk to
is.
them.
You know,
There
No,
is.
that's
I was
true,
trying to hold my
Misty.
peace.
I can't argue that. But I think that's where
Talk
the
to
whole
them.
sexual education part of it comes in. Because naturally, when
Right.
people hear sex toy, they really think about a big 9, 10 inch,
A
11
big.
inch dick,
Mm-hmm.
dildo,
Mm.
or they
That's
just think
right.
about a regular vibrator, not knowing that you can have erotic books to really help
Yeah,
in
Mm-hmm.
your relationship and your
that's
sexual
right.
communication. Not knowing that you have lingerie to help in your role play that goes along with your
Mm.
foreplay. You know,
There
not
Yes.
you
knowing you
go.
have small stuff as um games, you know, whether it's going to be
Yes,
a board game, a dice game,
the
or card
dice.
game.
Yes, the
So a
Yes,
lot of
dice.
times because
that's
they
Yes, the
right.
don't
That's a
dice.
toy.
know
That's it.
exactly, so they don't know.
That's
So
it.
you know that's what they always go for because of how they depict sex out there in the media and on
Yes.
mainstream. So that's
Interesting.
why again we have to have spaces like these to kind of sexual educate them and let them know that no, you can even start as slow as using a dice. You know, women and men can both dress up, go in your costumes, and do your
Mm-hmm.
role play with each other. Kind of have that excitement in the bedroom. Like, don't get complacent. You feel like, okay, now we're together. I'm gonna wear my tired every night, go to bed. I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna put on a nightie. You know, we have to know how to kind of
Yes.
spruce up the relationship at some point. You know, you have
Right.
everybody when they hear about BDSM, bondage, and discipline, sadism, and
Mm-hmm.
masochism. They just think about handcuffs. Like, no, there are
Yeah.
so many things where BDSM is concerned. You know, you have the hand restraints, you have foot restraints, you have
Okay.
the spreader bars, you have the slings, you have the gangs, you have the nipple clamps that is good for nipple sensation. As Toby said, she can have an orgasm just from getting stimulated from her nipples. So there are so many things that we have to continuously sexual educating persons to know that hey, it's really not just a big dildo, you know, and then we have to
Mm-hmm.
educate men as well because they get I don't know, they get so defensive when it comes down to sex toys or anything that's vibrating for stimulation, and all they can focus on is their ego and their size. Like, no, it's not about that. What happened to DP? There is double penetration that probably your partner wants to enjoy but just don't know how to
Yes.
communicate it with
Yes.
you. You know, having
Mm-hmm.
you
Yes.
having penetrative sex. Okay, I want something for anal play just the same, you know. So, or I want two dicks in one time doing penetrative sex. Okay, you won't have a next human being, but here is something that
But
we
you
can
have the
probably use.
dildo.
It can be
That's
your,
right.
but you have the
Mm-hmm.
dildos. So they're just different things to explore. But again, we just have to like let them know how to explore it and just try to sexually educate them and try to be as inclusive as possible in the bedroom. Not just to let them know that okay, yeah, we have a sex toy, so it's all about a bullet. It's all about no, it's really not. You know, you can take it the
Yeah.
Yes.
medical aspect of it, to let them know that, okay, where sex toys is concerned, you have Kegels. I mean, a lot of women know about Kegel exercises,
Kegel balls,
and then you have Kegel ball that helps you to tighten the pelvic muscles, which is also good for childbirth. You know, after childbirth, there's so many things. And then you have dilators that you want to let people know that, hey, I mean, some women just are naturally tight, so you want to use the dilators to kind of help free up the passage so you can make sex more pleasurable. You know, so and then what we have to always remember, no matter what, you have to always just prioritize your pleasure. You prioritize everything else in your life, your professional life. But what happens to your sex life? Your sex life, it affects your mental just the same. So you have to just know now how to prioritize your pleasure along with everything else.
Wow.
Exactly.
Listen,
we are coming.
You just had the closing statement for us tonight. Prioritize your pleasure. Like that's it. Like that's the wrap. Drop mic. That's it, guys.
So ladies,
listen, it was such an awesome night. Listen.
Yes, it was.
Oh my God.
I have one last little fantasy I want to let you all let the world know, and you ladies know. I'll just fantasy I want to share with the world. I want to get in the plane, 40,000 feet in the air, jump off with my partner. How about that? What do you think? Is that crazy enough? And
go for it.
When we jump off in the plane, what happens? You know, we may hit, we may miss, but that's the idea.
That's pretty
Anyway, ladies, it's been a pleasure.
Oh my God,
you guys are absolutely amazing, so informative, so graceful, and so blessed. So I think we may have a part 2 coming up. We might let the ladies know. But I think that these conversations need to be had more. And I think that I'm just really, I'm a more informed man tonight. And I'll walk away with my own little gift bag of information here.
Right.
And the store, I'll find you wherever you are. That book, please show it again if you don't mind. Karelia, I want to see it. And if you can, Shadi, where can we find you? We can book an Amazon, satisfaction guaranteed. Thank you. Yeah. And Shadi, where can we find it? Where can we locate you?
Oh, you can visit or my website is www.fetishsecrets.com. The word secret and then with a z.com. I'm fully e-commerce, so I ship to you wherever you are in the world. If you're local and in Jamaica, we're located at 9211 Phoenix Avenue. That's Kingston 10. So that's it.
Nice.
All right.
Last but not least, where can we find you?
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Ladies,
it was very stimulating.
God bless every one of you. Yes. I want it back again.
It was.
Yes.
Let's talk.
Relationships on You Me Radio.
So what are we talking about?
Marriage, dating, parenting, business,
and love, emotions, sex.
It's a conversation with me, Lady Misty,
and DJ KTE
on everything from hot topics to taboos.
Join us Mondays at 9 p.m. live on UME Radio.
Follow us at Let's Talk Relationship Show on Facebook or on UME Radio on Instagram. Let's talk relationships, arguments for the grown.
Get the UME Radio app to listen wherever you are. That is UME Radio, one word.
UME Radio, positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.